Edward Leos. Welcome to Travel Talk, filmed at the Peachtree Rose Marketing Studios and hosted by the Hotel Guide publisher, Edward Leos.
Good morning, everybody. Edward Leos here, publisher of the Hotel Guide and your host of Travel Talk. Really excited about today's episode. I actually have Allie Evangelista, who's the president of Hard Rock Casino Bristol, and so happy to have her on the show today. Allie, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, especially now that I'm talking to you. It's just made my day much better, but it's been a great week here in Bristol.
Oh, wonderful. I know you got a lot of great things happening there at the property. We'll get to that in a minute. But like all of my listeners are asking, like, well, who are you talking to, Edward? Who is Allie and what can we know about her? So why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about who you are, your background, and kind of how you got to your position as president?
Yeah, it's always, in my opinion, an interesting story just because I tend to relate to people in the industry and specifically people that are coming to this country to make reach the American dream, as we like to say. Personally, I was born and grew up in Brazil, South America, and had an opportunity to go to Walt Disney World for an internship, which is one of the reasons I got really excited to talk to you today, is because my entire life I knew what I wanted to do in some shape or form, but it was going to be related to hospitality and travel. So I went to school for hospitality, travel, and tourism in Brazil. During my college degree, I got to work at Disney in Florida. And that obviously was a great thing for my resume. But eventually I ended up moving here after I graduated college. And I moved to Orlando, Florida. I was dating my husband at the time. And wanted to start a career, but even though I had a degree and I had some experience, it was all very much related to how we do things in Brazil. And my first quest was, how do I become an American? How do I learn how to work in America? What are the rules? And it's very impressive to realize that finding out that you get paid by the hour is the most amazing thing ever, which I think is what propelled me. It's like, how many hours can I work in a week? So I started my career when I moved here as a hotel housekeeper in Orlando, Florida. I worked at a hotel in Homewood Suites, like a Hilton brand hotel, and I loved it. I of course I didn't dream to be a housekeeper. I had a degree and all that, but I loved it because I was really excited about what I was doing, my team, and the opportunities that came after that. Obviously, my only goal at the time was one day I'm going to work the front desk. And I did make to the front desk, and I had several positions in the hotel business for a while. We ended up moving out of Florida to Missouri a few years later because I had an opportunity to join the gaming industry. Mm-hmm. And that's when it all started. So I went to slots and learned all about slots, learned about table games, poker. And 7 states later, I'm in Bristol, Virginia. It's an amazing industry, but I was always very hungry to learn more, hungry for career growth. And, my husband was always very supportive for us to continue in this direction of, growing in the gaming industry. And it's been an amazing journey, but really humble beginnings, and it helps us a lot. Most people in this industry come from a position where, people don't dream, I'm going to be a president of a casino. People have different kinds of dreams, but slowly you fall in love with the industry, and that's where we ended up.
Now, I love that story. I didn't know the full story, but I love that you're telling it and how you came from humble beginnings to where you are now. And actually, I've always talked to people about the hospitality industry and talked about the opportunities that are in the hospitality industry, that it doesn't have to be just within the hotels themselves. It's like with us with the publication and stuff like that. There's so much things that the hospitality industries touch. But to see that you went from some humble beginnings to now being president of the Hard Rock is an amazing testament to your fortitude and background. So kudos to you on that, for sure.
Thank you. It's fun because just before I met with you today, we onboarded, we have a few team members that are joining our property. And so we're doing brand induction, and we go greet them and welcome them to the band. And the conversation always goes, here's who I am. Here's a fun fact about me. Is there anybody in the room that is working hotel. Okay, great. There's a housekeeper today in our brand induction. I said, I started just like you, not that long ago, trying to not age myself, but really just sharing with people that it's an amazing country and you can really be and do whatever you want to if you put your mind to it. But the hospitality industry is exactly that. You don't have to know everything when you join. You just have to have the hunger to learn. And that's what I want from people when they join us, so that we can teach them everything else. Today I get to run a property that actually has a hotel, and I have housekeepers, and I have front desk, and a bunch more things, which is so fun.
But that's amazing. So let's switch over to the hotel. So tell us a little bit about what's going on at the Hard Rock Casino Bristol. What are some great things happening? Maybe even going into the new year. What are some things you have makes that property so special for you?
Yeah, well, there's so many reasons why this is so special. I'll tell you. The first thing I would say is we only been open for a year. We actually this week celebrate our 1-year anniversary from the grand opening of the Hard Rock brand, but we've been working on this project for almost 4 years now, when we started hiring people and training, and we opened a temporary facility prior to having the hotel, but we did start with the gaming portion of it in restaurants. And November of last year, we opened the property. So what's been happening, to be honest, it's like the time flew. I don't know where this whole year went by, but we focus on learning. We focus on teaching. We focus on listening, because we're new to the region as well. So gaming is new, Hard Rock brand is new, the entertainment portion is new, and we're new as a team. We're a young team, a young family. So you got to get to know each other. You got to listen to your guests. We call them guests or customers, right? And we want to know what people want to see, what they want to experience, so that we can get better. So it's been a whole year learning, and full transparency, it's going to be our next year. Continue to learn and listen and adjust, because it takes time to build a well-oiled machine, especially when it comes to hospitality. But there's a lot happening. Our property is actually comprised of a hotel that has 303 rooms. We are very fortunate to be sold out pretty much every weekend. We have some availability during the weekdays, but we do have a very high occupancy on our property from day one, which has been amazing. We do have a venue that has nationally recognized acts throughout the year. We did 38 shows this year in 2025. There's approximately 2,000 seats. So we're going to be expanding that to maybe about 50 shows in 2026, all about learning. What do people want to listen to? How much do they want to pay for a concert? And what are they looking for in the area? So that's been a learning journey for me. I've never really been in the entertainment business myself. Been enjoying it. I think people sometimes think, well, you get to run a property, you stop learning. No, I think it's the opposite. We learn even more. You have to learn, and that's the fun of the business. So there's a lot of that stuff going on. Obviously, we're at the end of the year. One of our biggest days is New Year's Eve. So we're right now gearing on some meetings and just fine-tuning what our New Year's Eve activities will be. But it's a never-ending fun, 24/7. We wake up thinking of what we're going to do next and what's the fun we have coming up this weekend.
Well, you almost have to, and particularly with the Hard Rock brand, that's kind of the same indicative of what your guests are expecting from you, to be ahead of the curve and to be from the entertainment aspect, and then you got the gaming aspect too. So kudos to you to living up to the brand name and everything that's going on. What have you seen has been your biggest challenge / learning curve in getting the property to where it's at now, and maybe even going into the year two?
Honestly, the biggest challenge is being a new gaming facility in a state that didn't have any gaming before. So as we are learning, so are our regulators, which has been a great relationship, but there's no playbook. You're basically creating it from day one. And then also you don't have the expertise on the talent pool, where we want to hire the community. We want to provide great paying jobs with long-lasting careers to locals. And in order to do that, you have to hire people that don't have the experience. And in many cases, not even hospitality experience. Some of them do come with some experience, some housekeeping, some front desk, but it's a big property with standards. As you mentioned, Hard Rock, we have a brand name, we have brand recognition standards that we have to follow. So that has been the biggest challenge, is to train, develop, and find people that can see this more than a job, because we are globally known. We have 308 venues across the world, 80 different countries. Our brand has never been more popular. As a matter of fact, I believe our brand awareness study just showed 91% all over the world. I joke around with people that Hard Rock's very, very strong in South America, Brazil specifically. Everybody loves the brand. So when I took a job with Hard Rock for almost 4 years ago, I remember telling my family, I was like, I have something to tell you. I'm going to change jobs. And I got hired by Hard Rock. And it was like, oh my gosh, you made it. My career was, because it's such a well-known and positive brand across the world that it was a really big boost for my family.
That's awesome.
That's been my biggest challenge, really.
Well, got it. I appreciate you sharing that as well. And it is a great brand as well. So let's switch back to the personal side a little bit. I always like to ask my guests these 2 travel questions, but what have been some of your favorite travel destinations you've been to? And then any bucket list travel destinations you have on tap?
I love to travel. As a matter of fact, I work to travel. So that was another reason I was excited about your show is that is my pastime. People ask, do you have a hobby? And no, I work 24/7. I love what I do. Don't feel sorry for me. It's by choice. But when I'm not at work, I'm traveling. So I've been fortunate to travel many, many different places. The bucket list is very, very long. I would say for many years, I kept going to Europe. My husband is Italian and we love Italy. Spain is one of my favorite countries. It's good to go to Portugal because I speak Portuguese, so that helps a lot. Just this year, we celebrated our 25th anniversary, and so we went to Maldives, and that was the furthest I've been. And it was an amazing trip because it's just such a unique location, and it is exactly what you see everywhere when you do your research and you see these beautiful islands. So that was amazing. I have a bucket list. My next trip is actually scheduled in 2027. We're going to Patagonia, and it's a very remote place. So we've been doing a little bit more of the like destinations where there is not a lot of visibility, where you kind of can focus on yourself and recharge. And that has been the focus the last couple of years.
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. Well, that's the experiential side of things. People are really looking at that, and it's people in the industry are even doing that. They want to have that ability to go somewhere and kind of escape and recharge and then, come back a little bit better person than when they got there. And so I can't wait to learn more about that trip of yours in 2027 when that happens as well. But we got a couple of minutes left here. Any final thoughts on you, the property, hospitality in general? And then what is the best way for our listeners to learn more about the Hard Rock Casino Bristol?
For sure. So I think the biggest thing people should know is that this region is very, I think people underestimate where we are. I did that. When I took the job, I looked it up and I'm like, it's Bristol. Where is this? It's a beautiful region. If you like outdoors, there's parks, fly fishing is beautiful here. There's golf. The weather is magnificent all year round, certainly in the fall and spring. So I tell people don't come here because Hard Rock is here. This is a very well-known area, but now you have one more reason to come. We have a beautiful hotel with spa, indoor, outdoor pool, 24-hour dining. There's different reasons why people come to Virginia and to this area, but certainly now there is one more reason. And of course, to keep up with all that we do, which is so much, I always tell people we do have a website, but our social media is where people get to hear right away when we announce new concerts and tickets for sale and any giveaway and events that we're doing. So follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and you'll be the first one to know everything that's happening right here at Hard Rock Bristol.
Oh, that's awesome. We'll definitely have the links in our show notes so our listeners and readers could find that easily. So that's not a problem at all. But Allie, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on our Travel Talk podcast today.
Well, thank you. It was my pleasure too.
Awesome. Hey, to all of our listeners and readers out there, followers, you know the drill. Follow us at thehotelguide.com. Make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Spotify channels as well. And then obviously in the show notes, you're going to see the contact information for the Hard Rock Casino Bristol. Obviously, it looks like social media is where they are at. So make sure we find them there and stay in touch with everything. But like we always like to say, travel, make memories. And until next time, everyone, take care and we will talk soon.